like a boss.
Make him feel like you're mad at him, okay? Now this only works when he likes you, okay? This is the prerequisite. This works when you have chemistry. Why? Because when a guy has chemistry with you, it's a lot harder to let go of you. When a guy has chemistry for you, he's gonna say, I don't feel like this for a lot of women, so I'm gonna deal with this. You get what I'm trying to say? Because what you do is that the reason why he stays is because of the chemistry and the sex, one or two, right? But generally, when you have good chemistry with a guy, don't underestimate how much bullshit they're willing to deal with. They like you. When you have good chemistry or good sex, a guy's gonna deal with a lot of shit. And his willingness to deal with a lot of shit gives you space to do a lot of these things. Because if there's no emotional attachment and you do this, he might leave. Or if he has enough options, he might leave. But just because you have options doesn't mean you're gonna leave. So it's kind of like in the middle, okay? So make him feel like you're mad at him. And this is actually, I learned this from a client, where she told me that she was talking to a guy and she wanted to video chat with him. And then she was like, why don't you want to video chat? What, are you ugly? Just playing around with him? And he was like, no. And then he was like, I gotta talk to you later, bye. And he left. And that whole time she said after he did that, she got needy. So what you could do is misinterpret something. Maybe he says something and you just take it as something bad so that you could use that as an excuse to pull away. And this is gaslighting people, I swear to God. And what tends to happen is that they feel the guilt. Leave him alone when you're away. Listen to me. When you're with him, you could be as needy as you want to fucking be. Okay? You could fucking look at him with those creepy eyes and shit, right? You could give him a gift. You could do whatever the fuck you want. But you always have to balance that with like I always say, look, some of you guys are gonna say, you already said this, but some of you guys are hard-headed. Some of you guys, I tell you this and it just doesn't get through your head, okay? So I gotta keep repeating it until you guys don't have to watch these videos. Unless you watch me because I'm entertaining. But leave him alone. Like, simply leaving a guy alone will make him feel needy. Why? Because most women don't leave you the fuck alone. When a woman likes you, most of the time they don't leave you alone. So when you leave him alone, that means that get him to complain why you don't initiate contact all the time. Or what you could do is that you could sort of use the pattern that I teach of texting, which is 2 hours and then 3 times. The first text of the day taking 2 or 3 hours, and then respond to him taking 5 to 20 minutes 3 times, and then go back to 2 or 3 hours. And then from time to time, completely reverse that pattern and text back fast. You know what I'm saying? Go a whole day where you text back fast, and then a whole day where you don't text back fast. Then once a month, you go a whole day where you don't respond to him, like once a month. You keep that, and then let's just say he goes on vacation or you go on vacation. You don't text him. As long as you don't have a history of cheating and you do this, he's gonna say, why doesn't she hit me up? She doesn't miss me? What the fuck, right? By just leaving this motherfucker alone, it can activate insecurity in his heart that he's trying to conceal. The next one is something that I teach a lot, which is the art of insinuation. Pretty much, it's all about talking about something that makes him feel insecure, comparing him to somebody else, and switching the topic, okay? Now, I know I say this and you're like, have we heard this before? Okay, all you motherfuckers saying you heard this before, how many times have you done it? Exactly, right? So that's why I gotta keep repeating it. Teach you this, and it sounds simple, but the hard part is that you guys don't do it, okay? So by simply insinuating, so an example is, again, let's just say that he is a programmer. You could be like, oh wow, I love this guy who's a traveler. He's so adventurous, and he's always athletic, and he's like, I love this guy who's athletic. He's so cool because he travels. And he's like, oh yeah. And then you change the topic. Then you change it. Anyways, fucking Bobby the programmer, what are you up to this week? Programming and staying home. Oh, okay. Anyways, I gotta go. And when you leave, you're like, he's like, oh man, like Jake the fucking adventurers. I mean, fucking Jake the explorer. Travels, skydives, and here I am fucking programming. Oh, man, he is totally, I could lose this girl, man. The fourth one, create a pattern of neediness and then break it, right? So it could be that you were texting him a lot. It could be that you were calling him a lot. It could be that you were always there, right? You were actually acting needy. In fact, he took you for granted. In fact, he felt like you were never gonna leave him. And then you break that fucking pattern. You stop initiating contact. That don't mean that you don't respond. You respond. You say yes to the dates. But now you're a little colder. Now you're not initiating them. Now you don't sound as excited. When you're with them, you're there. Don't get me wrong. But when you're not with them, you make it feel like you forgot them. In fact, sometimes, heck, you might even cancel the day when you decided to pull away. You might even cancel a date that week, strategically speaking. The point is that when you do that and you creating that pattern, in his mind, he's not gonna understand why that happened. And so he's gonna ask himself, why did I do something wrong? And he's gonna start self-reflecting. And that self-reflection is gonna cause him to feel needy and insecure. And the only way for him to remove that insecurity is to go at the source that caused it, which is you. Now, this is fucked up, like I always say, but this is what gets him needy. So, but again, you break that pattern, right? You're texting him every day, you call him every day, and you say yes to all the dates, and all of a sudden, you take a long time to respond now. All of a sudden, you say no to the date, you cancel the date. All of a sudden, you're a little bit more colder that week, and then you go back to normal. And no, not normal, but then you go back to a moderate way of talking to him. That means that you're not needing no more, but you show him you like him. Before you responded instantly, and then when you went cold, when you broke the pattern, you responded 4 hours later, but now you're responding 5 minutes, 20 minutes, a moderate type of response that doesn't look too needy, but doesn't also look too disinterested. You get what I'm saying? And so you wanna go through those periods. Super needy, moderate, super cold, moderate, needy, and that kind of stuff keeps him on his toes. And the truth is that it kind of like that. It's kind of like you want something you can't have. It's a challenge. You know, we all have that masochistic type of desire inside of us. And the last one is Tyrone, right? Now look, it's not Tyrone, okay? It's put him in a sexually competitive state, like I always talk about. Putting a guy in a sexually competitive state is something that's so important that I have to reiterate here. And the reason why is this: when a guy sees in general, any human being, when they see that they want something that you have, all of a sudden that thing goes up in value. When a guy sees that you're talking about Tyrone, the personal trainer, Jake, the fucking basketball player, fucking Bob the builder, fucking whatever, as long as you let him know, I have a best friend at work. You know, don't worry about him, he's fine, but he's so cool. And you talk good about the fucking guy who is your best friend at work, which we all know he's trying to fuck you. That puts him in a sexually competitive state, right? But similar to insinuation, when you bring this up, when you bring up the fact that your salsa teacher is a good teacher, you change the topic. As long as you bring him up and you don't elaborate on it, you change the topic, he's gonna start thinking about it, right? Again, it's all about, you can either introduce him to your male friends, you could tell him about your male best friend, you could just don't hide the fact that you have male friends. That's pretty much it. Because when you like the guy, you try to hide those guys because you're afraid that he gets jealous. But when you don't like the guy, you bring him up. You get what I'm trying to say? So, and that's why the guys that don't like you, that you don't like you, because you're willing to do all of this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're gonna be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man, you know. Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one will teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship. And this, a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. I'm closing the channel.